Okay, so let's talk about it. During my free birth, if these things were to happen, how would I handle them? What would I do? So for shoulder dystocia, I think that's how you pronounce it, that is really rare. That happens in less than 1% of births. However, if it were to happen, I am prepared and know what to do. There are 3 different maneuvers that you can do to help move the shoulder out of the way. First, I would do the gaskin maneuver. That makes you get on your hands and knees. There are variations of this. You could get into a runner's lunge, and you also could do kind of like a child's pose, but you don't get all the way down. The second one is another maneuver. You lay on your back, you bring your legs up over your abdomen. That has been shown to be very effective. And the third one would be, while I'm in one of those positions, we get 2 fingers up in there and help to move the shoulder out of the way. The second one, what would I do if I started to hemorrhage? I think an important thing is preventative care. That means making sure that your iron levels are good before you give birth. For me, in my second and all throughout my 3rd trimester, I drink Nora tea. That stands for nettle, oat straw, red raspberry, and alfalfa. I make it myself. It's very high in iron. Also make sure to increase my iron-rich foods: beans, lentils, quinoa, lots of leafy greens, so many green smoothies. You want to make sure iron levels are good, and that can help prevent hemorrhaging, especially if you don't have a history of it, which I do not. But if I were, I always have 2 tinctures on hand that I would take. The first one is shepherd's purse, and the second one is angelica. I'd also make sure that I'm breastfeeding baby. That releases oxytocin to stimulate the uterus and stop the bleeding. If it was really bad and I had birthed my placenta, I would take a piece of the placenta and put it in my cheek. That also will stop the bleeding. And lastly, if baby came out not breathing, it is pretty rare for a baby to come out not breathing in a home birth setting, because a baby not breathing at birth is almost all the time because it was under a lot of stress in the moments before birth. In a home birth setting, it is very calming. The mom is calm, therefore the baby is calm. The mom is pushing when they're ready. They're not being instructed to push. The mom did not take drugs, so the baby doesn't have drugs in their system. So it is pretty rare, but of course it could happen. So the first thing would be, do not cut the umbilical cord. That placenta is still giving oxygen to the baby until they take their first breath. Second thing is make sure they're on skin to skin, right by my chest and my heart. And then I would be trying to stimulate them, tapping their feet, patting their butt, their back, rubbing them. If that wasn't working, then I would start breathing in baby's mouth. Baby's lungs are very small. They don't require a ton of oxygen to start breathing. During this time, though, if it got to this point, we would be calling an ambulance in case this didn't work or baby needed more oxygen, and also would be bringing them to the hospital so they can get looked at, make sure that there was no damage from not breathing, and also make sure that there's not an underlying reason for why they weren't breathing. Let me know if there are other situations you guys want me to talk about for if they were to happen during my free birth.